This is Street Connect, a project that I started to bring more purpose and connection into New York City life. And I do that by having conversations with strangers.
What do you dislike the most about your life? Is that a good one?
No, that's a really good one. I dislike not being wealthy a lot. I feel like I grew up with like a mentality of lack, like of feeling like I was just never going to have enough, which has like in my adulthood like translated to like I'm an extreme couponer, so which is like neat hoarding, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm like a little bit of a hoarder. And I think like when things come to money, like my first response is like no, or like we don't have it, even if we do. So kind of like just this spirit of like not having enough. So I don't know that it's actually tied to wealth, right? But it's like all mixed up in this whole thing of like not having enough, and how that impacts how I like relate to people, how I like give things to and relate to my kids sometimes, how I relate to my husband, how we make decisions. So I just like that most about my life, my perspective on what I have and lack,
Definitely.
What is your greatest fear?
Oh my goodness. That's a hard one as well. I think my greatest fear is not being able to support my mom when she gets older, I think is my biggest fear. Not being able to do that because they were my aunts and uncles, they were able to do that for my grandmother and have her like live in her home. Like she lived in her home up until the day she died. She didn't have to go to a nursing home. She had someone take care of her. And she, to me, had a very good end of life care, essentially. So I fear that I won't be able to do that for my mom because I don't know what will ever happen when my mom gets older, which is really scary. And yeah, I mean, there's just like a whole community around my grandmother. And my mom is the youngest sibling, so I'd hope not, but her sisters and brother are going to get older faster than her, so she probably wouldn't have them as much as other siblings have. It's very tough. So my dad passed away when I was 9, and he had a blood clot, and like he had multiple actually throughout his life, and he had one that went through his lung, and they couldn't get it out in time. So I think that's where like I'm very fearful like of anything that happens to my mom. Like if she gets sick, she just found out this year that she has lupus. Like there's things that like really freak me out because my dad passed away when I was 9. Like anything that happens to my mom, I'm like extra worried about. So yeah, I think that's kind of where it lies. It's very like emotionally tied to my mom. She's my mom, and she's great. She's able to support my sister and I. So like send us both to college. So she's a great person, and like. Yeah, it'll be hard.
Yeah.